Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Recent Things. July 4th is fast approaching. Yes, it is right around the corner. Can you believe we are pretty much at the halfway mark for 2024 already? It seems like just yesterday I did a video in January and said, geez, I cannot believe it's 2024 already, and yet here we are in June. Time is going by so fast. And today we're going to celebrate July 4th for all of my USA viewers out there. And we're going to create a bubble wreath using 6-inch Deco mesh from the Dollar Tree. Why don't I just get started and I'll show you what I made. Today we're going to be using a 14-inch wire wreath frame along with this 6-inch Deco mesh coming from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm using 2 of each color, so that's a total of 6 rolls. I'm going to be using some pipe cleaners, and I found this amazing 2.5-inch wired ribbon. It's double-sided with stars and stripes. Love it. We're going to play with that today. And then I'm going to be using my regular crafting utensils to create this project. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little basket and some dowels. I'm going to show you a little trick. I've showed this before and I love it. It's a little holder for your Deco mesh. So all you have to do is place the dowels in between those holes on the basket. Take your roll with the open side facing up and then stick the dowel on the other hole. I'm going to do this for all 3 of my Deco mesh. Now I have blue, white, and red here. You overlap it and you can see it pulls out beautifully. Now to start this off, I'm just going to gather the ends of my Deco mesh with my fingers. I'm going to grab a pipe cleaner that I cut in half and I'm just going to have it facing down. So the pipe cleaner faces down and there is a reason for it and I'll explain it in a second. And I'm just going to twist this. This is going to be the start of our bubble. We're doing the bubble wreath method today. I'm going to chop off that excess. And then today our lengths are going to be 10 inches. Now there's no cutting today, just what you saw right at the beginning and right at the end, and cutting those pipe cleaners in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that first pipe cleaner up, measure 10 inches, gather it together. Then I'm going to grab a pipe cleaner, create a V, and then have an upside down V such that the pipe cleaners face down. The reason why you want to have them facing down is such that all of your Deco mesh lays properly, and if you have it all facing in one direction, it will lay smoother. If you have it all kind of up and down and all around, it's harder to attach to the wreath frame. So that's why I try to keep all of my pipe cleaners facing one direction. It's a lot easier for attaching to the frame. And I just continue that for the entire roll, adding those pipe cleaners every 10 inches. When I get to the bottom of the roll or the end of the roll, I just flip them out, measure another 10 inches, and then I'm going to attach that pipe cleaner. And then really, I'm just going to cut off the excess, and we have our first strip ready for attachment. I'm going to use 6 rolls, so that is 2 rolls of each color, and I'm going to create 2 strands. Now you see here I am adding a little bit of hot glue at the end of my Deco mesh. I don't want it to fall apart or come apart, so I just add a little bit of hot glue just to make sure everything's sealed. I'm going to let that stand up by itself and let that completely dry. And again, I'm doing 2 strands of this. Here's our wire wreath frame, and we're going to be working on the 2 inside wires. And to start off, I'm going to be using the anchor. So again, the 2 inside wires are what we're going to be using, and I'm going to start with my anchor, and I'm going to grab the first end of our little bunch of bubbles here, and I'm just going to open up that pipe cleaner, and I'm going to put it through such that the anchor and the 2 middle wires are included inside that pipe cleaner. Twist it a couple of times, and then I'm just going to attach the rest of those bubbles on those 2 inside wires, just twisting the pipe cleaners all around. Now what I've done is I have my face of the wreath facing down, and now it's a little bit easier to attach those pipe cleaners to the frame. How it worked out for my little strands of Deco mesh is I ended up putting 5 pieces of the pipe cleaners, or I should say 5 bundles of the pipe cleaners per section. So I have one that is right on the anchor, and then I have 4 in between those 2 anchors. And at the very end, you can see I'm doing another section, starting another section here with another one. So when you're doing these strands, you can just count out how many pipe cleaners you have, divide it by 6, and that'll let you know how many strands you can put on per section, or how many pipe cleaners you can put on per section. The second strand that I did, I actually had a couple more, so I added 6 in between the last 2 sections. And you know what? That's not bad at all. It works. And now I'm just evenly spacing out those pipe cleaners on the back. Once that's done, I add a little bit of hot glue just in between each or at the end of each pipe cleaner, just to kind of hold it there. And then I'm going to chop off the excess of my pipe cleaners as well. We flip it over, and here we go. We have our beautiful bubble wreath. I'm just going to do a little bit more. We have 3 layers per bubble. So what I'm going to do for each layer is I'm just going to pull it apart. Now with Deco Mesh, you kind of want to have a gentle hand, a gentle but firm hand. You don't want to pull it in excess of fraying it. You want to really kind of, not yank it, but you do want to be firm with it, because it is a little bit finicky sometimes. But here you go. I have unraveled and fluffed up our beautiful base bubble wreath. Look at this. I love it. And of course, this is for July 4th. So we have red, white, and blue. You can do any color. And a wreath would not be complete without a beautiful ribbon bow. This is a double-sided ribbon bow, and I just thought it was perfect for this wreath. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down such that the stripes are facing up, measure 14 inches, gather it together, hold it in my left hand. Now that first 14 inches is going to be the tail. Then I'm going to measure 14 inches again, bring it back to my gathered hand, and that's going to create a loop. Now, generally when we have a good side and a bad side of a ribbon, we twist right in the center. Now, I want both of the sides to show. So I'm not twisting at this point when I gather it in my hand. And the very last one is our tail, which is cut at the 14 inches. So we have a 14-inch tail, 3 loops, and a 14-inch tail as well. And then I'm going to add a pipe cleaner right in the middle just to hold that all together. And then once that's on there, I'm just going to fold over those tails, fluff it up a little bit, kind of get my bows where I want. And then to finish them off, I'm just going to add those dovetails right at the end, cutting on an angle, creating those dovetails. Now I'm going to continue on, and we're going to do 3 sections of this bow. So now I'm doing the exact same thing I did for the first time. I'm just doing 10-inch lengths at this point. I'm still doing the 3 bows, the 2 tails. Just this time I'm doing it at the 10 inches. When that's all gathered, I'm going to apply another pipe cleaner right in the center, and then I'm going to create dovetails just to even it out and to add a little finishing touch. Now our last segment I'm going to do at 8 inches, but this time I'm going to do only 2 loops. So I do 2 tails, 2 loops for this last section, and that, like I said, will be 8 inches. We're going to cut there, add that pipe cleaner on, twist it around a couple of times, give it some dovetails to finish it off, and then I'm going to gather all 3 of my sections, and I'm going to use the largest as the bottom. So this is the 14-inch one. And then I'm just going to take those pipe cleaners, wrap it around the lower one, and then twist those pipe cleaners at the back. Cut off the excess. Now don't cut off that long one there. That we'll use for the attachment of our bow to our wreath. And of course I'm going to fluff it up a bit. You know me, I have to fluff it. The bow's there, and then I'm going to attach the last one with the exact same method I did before. Cut off the excess, keeping that longer one there. And now, of course, we're going to fluff till our heart's content, because here on my channel, we love the fluffing of the bows. After a little while, I have my bow all ready, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the pipe cleaner right through the back, attach it to the wire, cut off the excess, and our bow is attached to our beautiful wreath. Here is our end result. I am in love with this ribbon. I am so happy I came across it. That stars, the stripes, and of course our red, white, and blue bubble wreath base. Nice and simple. We don't have to add anything to it. The bubble wreath, the deco mesh speaks for itself, and you can actually make Dollar Tree deco mesh look good with this method. I am in love with this USA July 4th red, white, and blue wreath, and I hope you are as well. Thank you so much for stopping by while I created this red, white, and blue bubble wreath. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new project. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.